All right. Shalom, more praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Double lines to the apostles, GMS. This is Amna Wa'ala coming at you another video. And I want to continue this video. This video is going to be part 2 to what I was doing in Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter and the 3rd verse. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 4. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, right? The doors shall be shut in the streets. Meaning what? The places of business are going to be shut in the streets. The doors where people will go in and out to transport materials and various goods, nourishment, those doors are going to be shut in the streets. Okay? They're going to be shut. In other words, it's going to stop. It's going to cease. Meaning business is going to cease. So the doors shall be shut in the streets, meaning businesses are going to cease. Okay? When the sound of the grinding is low, meaning what? We already went into that on part 1, but it said the sound of the grinding, speak about the grinding ceasing. The grinding is talking about work. Why? How do we know that? Because in the ancient world, people would work by grinding mill. They would grind grain into fine flour with a millstone. That was actual work. So the doors shall be shut in the streets, meaning businesses are going to shut down. And then you see that now, you see businesses shut in the streets. You see businesses with the gates being brought down, and you can't go into the, you can't even see the door. The doors are shut, and it's a gate over it, and it's a gate over it. So the doors are shut in the streets. The business is shutting down. When the sound of the grinding is low, meaning when the sound of work is low. Let's get some articles on that. This is NPR.org. It says it's from March 16, 2020. It says America closed. See that? The coronavirus crisis. America closed. Thousands of stores, resorts, theaters shut down. March 16, 2020. Chris Arnold. It says a pedestrian passes a nearly empty subway and retail complex in Lower Manhattan as businesses are closed due to coronavirus concerns on Monday. This is from March 16, 2020, so this is 12 days ago. In an unprecedented attempt to contain the coronavirus outbreak, thousands of stores and other businesses are closing their doors to customers. Apple, Nike, Patagonia, and stores of other retailers are closing thousands of stores across the country. In the nation's largest cities, New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, and San Francisco, officials said they were ordering restaurants, bars, and cinemas to close. Restaurants will be permitted to do takeout business. Grocery stores and other retailers that sell food or basic supplies are staying open while limiting hours to allow for cleaning and restocking of store shelves. As a matter of fact, a store near where I live, they got shut down because they was opening their store. Their store was open past the time. Their stores supposed to be closed by 8 o'clock. And I would realize, like, for 2 days, I've seen them open at, like, 11 o'clock. And then, like, the next day, they was closed in the morning. They was closed in the morning again. So I'm like, why are they closed in the morning time? All the rest of these stores is open. And kind of find out they got closed down. I don't know if they're down for good, but they're going to be down for some moment in time. It says grocery stores and other retailers that sell food or basic supplies are staying open while limiting hours to allow for cleaning and restocking of store shelves. But outside of that, American business of all kinds are closing their doors to customers. Chairlifts and gondolas have stopped running as dozens of ski resorts in Colorado, Utah, Vermont, and elsewhere have shut down. Starbucks is removing chairs from thousands of locations and only doing to-go business. And McDonald's is closing the dining rooms in thousands of company-owned stores and only serving customers at drive-through windows. Major U.S. stores and businesses closing. Abercrombie and Fitch, Ultra Mountain Co. closing ski resorts, including Steamboat in Colorado, Squaw Valley in California, Stratton and Sugar Bush in Vermont, Apple, Anthropology, Aspen Ski Co. or Corporation or Company, Cruise Lines, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian and Viking, Hollister, Land's End, Lululemon, McDonald's closing dining rooms at its U.S. company-owned stores, Neighborhood Goods, Nike closing all stores in U.S., Canada, Western Europe, Australia, and New Zealand, Patagonia, REI closing all 162 U.S. stores, Rent the Runway, Starbucks closing stores in hard-hit areas, Under Armour, Urban Outfitters, Vail closing 34 ski resorts, including Vail in Breckenridge in Colorado, Stone Mountain in Vermont, Whistler in British Columbia, Park City in Utah, and Heavily in Kirkwood in California and Nevada, Walt Disney World, and Disneyland. See, gyms in some states are being ordered to close as officials decide that rooms full of people working out and breathing hard isn't an acceptable risk. As a matter of fact, I was talking to my cousin yesterday. He told me a guy he knew died from the coronavirus. He said he was 37 years old. He said he called him and told him he tested positive. He said, tested positive for what? He said he got that shit. He said, yo, I told you to stay out the gym and you wound up dying. Casinos are turning out because he went to a gym that was still, that my cousin told me that particular gym still had their gym open, even though other gyms was closed. You know? See that? Casinos are turning out. I'm not sure that's where he got it from, but this is what I was told. Okay? I mean, I'm not sure if um he got it from the gym, but this is what I was told. It says casinos are turning out the lights on their slot machines and card tables. The water is not running down the slides at indoor water parks in California, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. We will be closing all of our retail stores outside of Greater China until March 27th. Apple's CEO Tim Cook said in a statement, stores in China are reopening as that country says it has contained the outbreak. Cook said working with China has helped Apple chart a course for its response in the rest of the world. Let's see, that's a good deal. See if I can get some more. This is from Business Insider, right? Let's see what it says. It says more than 90 major U.S. retailers are temporarily closing stores in an unprecedented move to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. A spate of U.S. retailers have announced they will temporarily close their doors for at least the next 2 weeks to prevent the spread of coronavirus in the U.S. This is March 23rd, 2020. Most of these companies, which range from small brands like Urban Outfitters to major athletic retailers like Nike, have confirmed they will pay employees for lost shifts during this period. In an unprecedented move for U.S. retailers, stores across the country are opting to indefinitely shut their doors to prevent the spread of the novel coronavirus in the U.S. Though companies like Walmart have taken steps to reduce hours, several major retailers are electing to fully cease physical store operations as confirmed coronavirus cases in the country continue to rise. On March 13th, Glossier and Patagonia, we read Patagonia in the last one, I'm not sure we read Glossier, we read Patagonia on the last article. It says both announced that they would close stores, prompting a flood of retailers to follow suit over the weekend, including mall brands like Abercrombie and Fitch and Urban Outfitters and athletic companies like Nike. Alright. In subsequent days, many retailers followed suit with announcements of closures like from companies including Levi Strauss, Aritzia, and all PVH Corporation-owned brands like Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger. See, it says Best. See the full list of retailers that are temporarily closing their doors below. Best Buy. I'm not gonna read everything. I'm just gonna read the articles. I'm gonna read the stores. Swarovski. And in the last article we went and mentioned Australia, and I believe it mentioned New Zealand. So even countries outside the U.S., but a lot of them mainly in the U.S. Why I say that? Because the U.S. has more confirmed coronavirus cases than anywhere else. So we always said that stuff like this is gonna be happening all over the world, but it's mainly gonna be in the U.S. And what you see is mainly happening in the U.S. because U.S. America is Babylon the Great. United States of America is Babylon the Great. That's that place of judgment. Swarovski. See? Swarovski, Kohl's, Burlington Coat Factory, Ashley Stewart. These are stores that are closing, planning on closing, or closing temporarily. Pandora Jewelry. So we mentioned stores that they're going to be closed till the 27th, stores closing temporarily, so on and so forth. Okay? Pandora Jewelry, Skechers, Versace, Untuckit, Men's Warehouse and JOS A Bank, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods, Five Below, Hallmark, Claire's and Icing, JCPenney, Kering Group, LVMH, Kate Spade, Coach and Stewart Weitzman, Crate and Barrel, IKEA, H&M, Zara, Gap, Old Navy, Banana Republic, Athleta, Intermix, Janie and Jack, Ann Taylor Loft and Lou & Gray, Lane Bryant, Cacique. In fact, the Cacique that goes back to the Incas. I believe the Cacique, they were like transfer messages like that on foot, if I'm not mistaken. Catherine's and Justice. Let me see that real quick. What the hell is this? See? Should never press that. But anyway, Lane Bryant, Cacique, Catherine's and Justice, Neiman Marcus, Bergdorf Goodman, Perry Ellis, Bath and Body Works, Victoria's Secret, Utler, The Body Shop. Dang, how many stores is it? Macy's, Bloomingdale's and Blue Mercury, Adidas, Reebok, Foot Locker, uh, Kells, DSW, American Eagle Outfitters, Williams Sonoma, Pottery Barn, West Rejuvenation, and Mark Graham. Dang, I don't want to look at everything, but how many is it? See, here's the word cacique right here. Cacique. It's a leader of an indigenous group derived from the Taino. Okay. But it was something else I was reading. Somebody transferred messages on foot. But let me go back. Let me breeze through this. Pottery Barn, West Rejuvenation and Mark and Graham, Chico's, Disney Store, Ralph Lauren, Nordstrom, Rent the Runway, Sephora, Uniqlo, LL Bean, Levi Strauss, Columbia Sportswear, Madewell, J. Crew, Vans, Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, Van Heusen, Izod, Speedo USA, Artesia, Ray or REI, Under Armour, Abercrombie and Fitch, Hollister and Gilly Hicks, Nike, Lululemon, Lush Cosmetics, Outdoor Voices, Warby Parker, Allbirds, Vineyard Vines, Rothy's, Away, Fossil, New Balance, Land's End, Everlane, Apple, Philip Lim, Reformation, Urban Outfitters, Anthropology, Free People, Patagonia, Glossier. Some of these are companies that I read before on the same page, on our previous page, but this gives you an idea. The doors are shut in the streets, man. So it says Ecclesiastes 12:4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. So I went to that Cacique thing just to show y'all what I was talking about. I ain't want that crap to pull up. So lucky for that, I didn't even know that was gonna pop up. It says the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird. You know, wake up in the morning, because that's what you do. You wake up in the morning, and you do your business. But that's not happening now. When you rise up at the bird, why? Because the grinding is low. The doors are shut in the streets. There's no work, and all the doors of music shall be brought low. Now we already know that's talking about music, and modern music is it's trash. It's garbage. Music is an expression of the people. It's an expression of society. But even these musicians are suffering. And the music nowadays is garbage. Let me get you something real quick. This is from WBUR.org. Cancel concert, stranded musicians, how coronavirus has impacted the music world. An interior view taken on March 12, 2020 shows empty seats at the concert house in Dortmund, Western Germany, where public events were canceled in a measure to fight the spread of the novel coronavirus. Okay. There's a lot of stuff here, but let's read some here a little bit. COVID-19 is causing a downbeat for the music industry. Huge festivals like South by Southwest and Coachella have been canceled. Live Nation, one of the largest musical promoters in the country, has postponed concerts through the end of March. Brian Kager, artistic director of the World Music Institute, says COVID-19 has sparked major repercussions for the music industry. Tours are collapsing and businesses within the industry like venues are also feeling the impact, he says. After the September 11 attacks, Krager says his colleagues in the industry worked to bring music from around the world to the United States to combat the prejudice that followed the tragic event. International flights were shut down for a few weeks after 9/11, but venues could still hold concerts, unlike now, he says. Now we don't even have so it says different than 9/11. Now we don't even have the luxury of trying to bring people and music of other countries together, he says. So it's had a much more profound impact now. I would say than the 9/11 attacks. Artists in the industry make more of their living off of live performance, he says, not streaming services or other means. The inability to hold concerts has a devastating effect on live musicians, he says. The World Music Institute hopes to reschedule tours and concerts, but he says doing so requires starting from scratch. See, it takes a lot for artists to even get a handful of dates in the United States to make tours happen, he says. It's a huge puzzle that has to be reshaped and reshifted, and now we're just waiting for the next steps. Nearly 2,000 musical acts were scheduled to perform at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas this year. Singer-songwriter Madison McFerrin was one of them. From Brooklyn, New York, Madison, but guess what? It's canceled. So those nearly 2,000 musical acts, where are they at? from Brooklyn, New York. Madison McFerrin's name may sound familiar because she's the daughter of music legend Bobby McFerrin. Like, he made that song "Don't Worry, Be Happy" back like what in the '80s. Many national critics heard her sound for the first time during her South by Southwest debut in 2018. This is her right here. I could read more, but that's just about it. You brothers get the gist of it. You know, you brothers get the gist of it. So with that, I'm gonna close. I'm gonna say I hope you brothers learned something. Shalom.